All right, well, it's 91 degrees here in the hills of San Jose. It's supposed to only be 80 degrees. It's really hot. I know 90 doesn't seem like a lot, but it's just in the sun, it's brutal. All right, so there's this old oak tree right here. Nice spot right there. Can I make anything of this scene? At least there's a breeze and it actually smells amazing out here. This is a really nice spot. Well, there's a nice tree. There's a little path right there. You can kind of see the lake and the distant hills. Okay, so I brought several 7 by 10 inch panels that were just made from some scraps of masonite. And they'll fit into my 8 by 10 inch wet panel carrier. This panel carrier, I bought this many years ago at Blick. I'm not even sure if they carry them anymore. See if there's a name on it. It looks like Champion Art Mate. These small panels are nice if you're going to be hiking. I can fit several of these boxes in my backpack. In fact, I've got one that I made here. This one here is an 8 by 8. It's got a couple 6 by 8s in it right now, but I'm going to be painting on these 7 by 10s. Okay, so I'm thinking of making something of this tree here. I want to include more of the lake as if I was at a higher elevation. So I'll basically just bump up the horizon and the distant hills so I can include more of the lake. And then I want to work with this path that's coming in here too. So that's the plan. And I'm setting a timer for 30 minutes on my phone to make sure that I kind of work quickly. All right, so here's the compositional idea. This tree, as you noticed, I wiped it out. I was having trouble. I think I made it too large. It's kind of awkward in shape. It's like the one side seems kind of normal and curved, and then the other side, as you can see over here, really sticks out. I'm not going to exaggerate it like that. As usual, I'm just going to use the scenery to try to create an interesting composition. And so far, I kind of like this idea of this trail coming in. So I'm going to go with this and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've kind of mapped it out here and still not crazy about this tree. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. I really want to accentuate this sort of trail here. And then also too, I want to create a sense of depth with the, and push back those hills. I've still got 18 minutes left, so we'll see what I can do. All right, so I like the composition, but this is still a problem here, this tree. I might add like a couple extra trunks here just because I do like having the foliage over here, but it's just sort of awkward. All right, so here's what I finished up with. And I think adding these extra trunks, I think that worked out. As I mentioned, yeah, it's just sort of an odd shaped tree. And to have it extending over to the left without additional trunks just seems sort of awkward. I think raising the distant shoreline worked out. You know, as I mentioned, I wanted to include more water, and it seems like that worked. I also wanted nice separation and depth from the foreground in the distance here, and so, you know, I kind of grayed down the distant hills and lightened the value, especially, you know, the trees that are in the distance, and I do think that pushed back those distant hills. I tried to apply the paint in simple, you know, using simple loaded strokes, including even in the sky here, and I, you know, used the negative space of the sky to kind of chisel out and define the positive shapes of the distant hill, like these trees. But there weren't a lot of shadows to work with, and so that was one of the challenges of this scene. That's one of the challenges of painting in the middle of the day. No shadows. But it does seem like there's a decent feeling of light in this painting, though. All right, so it was 95 degrees when I finally packed up and hiked out of there. But no regrets. It's a beautiful spot. I am looking forward to fall or winter when the rains come back and then the hills turn green, so I probably will wait until then. It'll be much cooler as well. Anyway, as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you'd like to see some extra videos and help support the channel, there's a Patreon link down below, bunch of extra videos on there. Last video was a few tips on how to get over a creative slump, so if that sounds interesting, check it out. Like I said, link below. Other than that, stay creative, and I'll see you guys in the next video.